Okay. Just making sure that this is live. Let's wait. Okay, so is it working or not? Let's see. Got the message that I'm live, but it's still showing as upcoming. Okay, it's working. Perfect. Okay, so today what I wanted to test out is this watercolor brush set that I got yesterday, and I got very excited about it. So I already know my color palette for the Rooster. Thank you. Thank you. I got my coffee in a new mug because I got myself a new mug as well. So that is amazing. So now what I want to do first is, to be honest, I want to try out a couple of brushes first before we start doing anything. So I'm gonna put this one here. This one will lower the opacity. And first of all, let's take away the Rooster in general, and I want to try out the different brushes. Okay, so I'm gonna take the splatter. Okay, so this is an interesting effect. Then we have blooming wash. So this is an interesting thing. If we add different tones, maybe need to go from the same. This is cool. This is, you see, this is kind of very cool to add those color differences. So for example, if I were to go a bit warmer here, okay, this is interesting. Then we have a fluffy brush wash. Let's see. So if we do a lot of pressure. Okay, so this one, I think I need to get used to it. Maybe when adding in some color, this is fluffy brush wash is great to add in some color as well. So if I go here and I add in this lemony tone, like kind of kiwi color, this is interesting. Okay, then we have these 3 quills, which is consistent, medium. The one with the color that I created is and then the rough quill. Okay, so let's do the consistent quill. Let's take my favorite color. Let's make a bigger brush. Okay, so I like it already that the edges here are nice. So medium cool with color change. I think this one is the one, yes, with color change. And let's go to color dynamics, and then jitter, I'm gonna do it at 10%. I don't want it to be more. So it's already too much, to be honest. It's a huge difference. Let's do less. Let's do 4%. So the hue changes just a bit. This is nice. I like it because like this, it's not always the same hue. Okay, let's clear this up. Okay, so this is the medium coil in general. And so the less you press, the thinner it gets, and the more you press, the thicker it gets. Okay, rough quill. So let's do the same. So the more you press, the better it gets, the more transparent it gets. Okay, then we have, let's do an area. Let's cover an area. What if we add it here? Okay, you can see the differences. And what if we take the fluffy pinks and add some fluffy pinks in there? This looks interesting. And maybe some fluffy blues as well. Maybe here on this side. Just moving it quite gently. Okay, this is interesting. Then let's check out the glazing brush. So the glazing brush, let's see how it goes on its own. And it's very similar to that of Adelson Farias's glazing brushes, which I have here, but this one I like better, to be honest. So, for example, full transparency. So you can see it creates that edge, and then we have transparent brush. Let's see, let's increase. So I like this one more, I think, because this one gives you like that even wash, and this one creates a bit more texture. But okay, so let's go back to the just comparing the two. Then we have water stain glazing. Let's see. So it gives that even texture, as you can see. So here, if we go over create this, gives that even texture. What if we do in multiply layer? If we do it in multiply layer, it's going to darken it up, but it creates, to be honest, this could be like a nice area. And then we can take the blender, fluffy water blender, for example, and just blend it out a bit. So it creates an interesting effect. Okay, then we have scratchy rough. Let's see. Okay, I don't know, maybe let's lower the opacity. Let's see. Okay, I need to think where I could use that, maybe as a texture. I don't know, maybe as a texture somewhere. This adds more texture as well, but yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe if we decrease the opacity, creates that kind of effect of watercolor also. So yeah, this is okay. Quick leaf brush. Well, this one, let's test it out. Oh, okay, I see. So here, if we take, it creates that little kind of, let's decrease it, so we make, no, if we decrease it, we don't see anything. It creates that leaf shape. Okay, this is interesting. Fine liner pen. Let's see the texture. Annoying pen. This is interesting. Let's see. Let's do red. So, yeah, it is annoying. You can't, like, if you take this pen and maybe add some texture somewhere, for example, like, what if we do on the side? Okay. Then we have a colored pencil pen. Well, I'm gonna stick with Adelson's brushes with the pencil. This is an HB pencil. Maybe if we increase the size, gives you black anyway. So, but why? Maybe the settings of the brush, surely. Okay, so this is our blender. And this blends quite nicely, to be honest. If we blend these two colors, look, it's just very nice. Here as well, if we blend these, this looks nice. Okay, so today, and this is background. Oh, this is so cool. This is very cool, like to create those kind of effects. Okay. It's kind of water drips. If you put your painting kind of vertical and the water goes down, like unevenly. Okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. And the last one is fluffy water blender. Let's see. Let's see here. What does it do? Oh, we're on the wrong. Oh, we're on the wrong layer. Yes. So fluffy water blender. Are we on that layer? Yes. Okay. So this is to blend within. The blends also the sides, but okay. So I tested out the brushes. Let's delete these, clear up this one, and we have our chicken sketch. So let's start with our chicken overall, and I want to make him white. So he's gonna be white, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start with a rough quill, and let's see what color it gives me. So I'm gonna go here like so, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start adding the colors to his face. Let's start with the face. Okay, you can barely notice anything. I need to make it a bit darker, then we can lighten it up. Just going over his face. I'm not worried of going outside the lines for now. I'm gonna erase it and I will show you a trick how to get that outside line back. So let's go into the watercolor eraser. Let's do no glazing brush. If we erase with this one, no. If we erase with fine liner, okay. Or what we can do is we can blend it back like so. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, here we blend it all back in, not with an eraser but with a blender. You can even leave some of that blue here, because that's what watercolor would do. Make it smaller a bit. And bring that white back in. So I'm pushing the white into the color sections, the color layer. Okay. Okay. And now here we do the same. I don't need this color on this part. Maybe it could bleed into somewhere, bleed into it, but it's a cool technique to erase. Okay. Too much. So I went over the top here, so it's just a moment that I will move this back in. Let's do an eraser here because we don't need it, and then we do the pushing back. And then here I'm gonna erase the eyes because I don't want them this color. Actually, I'm gonna leave them. We're gonna do one thing. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this color back. Okay, and maybe we do some blending here like so. Nice. Okay, what I want to do now is I want to change I want it to be white, the chicken. So this seems like bluish good. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to select the salted watercolor, I think, as if we put some salt on it, and I want to give it a bit of an erase here. Just pass over the erase to erase it. Okay, so I'm gonna take this color now, and I'm gonna continue on the same layer with the same rough brush, and I'm going to do this part now, and I think I'm gonna make it smaller so that here, yeah, I need to go darker definitely in color. So I'm gonna go here Get the brush larger now. In case we can push it back then, like we did. Like so. Okay. Let's remove this. Let's blend these together. So here, what I want to do is I want to... Okay, let's do first all of it. Let's cover him all with this color. Everywhere where he's white. And with more pressure, as you can see, it gives me more water, and less pressure gives me more pigment. So this is my bottom layer. Here, I'm gonna blend it in more carefully. Okay, and this part. So I'm being careful here, not to have to erase too much then. Okay, this is interesting. So this is the first time that I'm actually using these brushes, except for the tutorial that I did with the leaves. Okay, so now we have this watercolor effect. Let's go back. Ooh, what's happening? Let's go back into the blender, and we're gonna blend back the parts that we don't need. Okay. With the white, we're pulling the white back into it. Okay, this is nice. Okay. Here I'm gonna move it like so. I'm actually really enjoying this. Let's cover the finger. Here, let's move back from these straps. Okay. And here, let's blend that area a bit, just to make it a bit of a more realistic look. Like so. Okay, and now what we can do is we can select this area, because I created it on the same layer. Should have painted it first and then already changed the hue for all of it, but it's fine. So let's make it a bit less saturated, a bit lighter. Okay. Nice, and now let's erase it the same with the nice. Okay, so the chicken is white. Now I'm gonna go for the red on his okay, the eyes, we're gonna get rid of the color in the eyes. Let's erase it with a normal eraser, with a fine liner. So we erase this for now, and then we will deal with the eyes. Okay, so now I'm gonna take a red, and I'm going to go in with that rough paint, but on another layer, just to make sure, so that I can change the color. Okay. Let's do some blending here. Okay, And now if I go here, I can remove that red from the head because it's on a different layer. The blues don't get into the red also. So I want it to be quite neat. This is like making watercolor erasable. It's incredible. Okay. Maybe here it bled a bit. Let's leave it like that. Here we push it back. Here we push it back in. So I want to keep to those lines because I already it's too much. I want to keep this. Okay, like so. I really like this technique of using the blender to kind of push the color back. Okay, this red, let's see. First we'll color everything that I need in red, and then we will see if we change the hue or tone of the red. Okay, so let's see the different blender. Fluffy water, that was a huge one. Fluffy water blender. Okay, so now let's make this smaller and push back the color where it has to be. Okay, it's quite cool. Okay, let's pull out this red over here. Okay. Too much. Okay, so let's see. What if we change? What if we make it cooler, or what if we make it warmer? Okay, this is how I like it. Maybe a bit. Okay, and then let's do the eraser. And let's take the salted watercolor eraser. Maybe let's take this one and see how that is. It was interesting. Okay, but maybe not this one. Let's do blooms, blooms, blooms. Okay, let's take a bigger one. Okay, this looks more like watercolor now. Maybe just a bit more. Okay, now let's do the area of the beak. And here I need to, I have cleaned it up. Let's do the area of the beak, and we make it orange. So I'm basically using the triadic colors here. And what if we take the dry? Where is my other watercolor pack? I didn't import it. Okay, I will have to import it. It's like super mega large. No. Fine. Let's do, what if we do medium quill for the beak? Yeah, I think this works. Okay, so I'm gonna work slowly on another layer to add that beak. like so. Okay, and we're gonna blend in the areas that we don't need. So the mouth, he's gonna have it like pinkish red. Okay, we blend it out until here. This is quite cool. I like this technique. You don't have to be so precious about it. And here we can pull it out a bit. Here we can pull it back. Like so. I like this yellow. And let's add the same yellow to the feet. So we're gonna add the yellow to the feet. Okay, let's blend it back. Like so. Now we will start adding interesting effects. Now it's the fun part will start. This is just the base colors. Now we will start adding the watercolory effects. Even more what they are now. And then also I want to see if I do this with colored pencils on top. So let's see. Okay. And here we go over the toes, fingers, paws, whatever it is. Okay. This is so funny. There's a car squealing outside with its brakes, and the bird is kind of talking back to the car. Okay. So here, if I didn't have enough color, I'll just pull it out. Like so. Here we'll pull it back in. Push it back in, push it back in. Okay. Now I want to make his jeans blue. And actually let's make the pants. But the thing is that what I wanted here is to take the eraser and to do some of those watercolory effects. Because then we will be adding more layers on top. And this is gonna add that illusion of watercolor. Okay, and now we have the pants, the pants. Let's go into the pants. This is still the same brush. So I'm gonna go see if this is too bright, in case we will change it. Is this too bright? No, I think this is good. Okay, I'm gonna color it this way. Okay, and here as well. Gonna take this water blender. Sorry. Do this a bit. Like so. And then I'm gonna go back to my favorite blender now and push back the color into where it belongs. This is so cool. Okay, we will make the color of the parts of the jeans where they are actually kind of the pants where they are like turned, like wrapped or backwards. We're gonna make it different. Okay, wait just a second. First we need to lay in the colors of the base colors. So cool, really relaxing. Okay. Oh, let's do the eraser. It's too much of it to push back. We'll erase this, we don't need it. And then we'll just leave that part which we want to push back. Oh, okay, I see there is the white also here, where we didn't push it back. Okay, here. Good. Let's go into the pants. And let's push it all back. And here we smooth it out. So if you want, you can leave a bit of streaks, like of the paint actually smudging over. I think this is just gonna make it look more realistic. This is a really cool way of adding colors. For now, I'm really enjoying these brushes. Okay. Pushing it back in. Okay, and here I can erase it with the erase tool because we're going to be adding a different color in a more careful way. Here I'm kind of smudging it out. Okay, here let's erase this. Because there's gonna be a different color here. Okay, and smudge this very gently, like so. So maybe the paint went over and smudged this part here. Okay, let's see now if the color is the one we like. Maybe let's make it more cold. And now let's go into our erasers. What if we take this brush and we erase with this brush is cool also for erasing. Okay, this is nice. It's very interesting, these effects that you can create with only this brush back for now. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to select this area. And I want to cut and paste And I want to change the color. First of all, I want to make it maybe brighter. I want to change the color, maybe green, something like so. It would work well here. And then I would take these polka dots. I'm gonna feather them out just a tiny bit. And let's change the hue. Maybe white. No, I don't want it white. Dark. Which color? Yellow, blue, purple, pink, green and pink. It's desaturated maybe. Gonna give it a bit of that color kick, I think. Pink polka dots. Okay, and now we're left with the tail. So the tail, we will do blue, but yeah, okay, we're gonna do it blue, but more towards the red. So a warmer blue. And I'm gonna make another layer, and I'm gonna start adding the tail. Okay. This is so cool that you can do it so quickly. And changing the pressure changes the texture also. So yeah, this is very interesting. This brush back, I like it. Okay, let's go back to our color pushing and cleaning up. Okay. Like so. We'll push it out a bit more. Here I see that I missed a spot. We can always push it. I love how this works. I love how this whole thing works. How it pushes the color around. It's incredible. Very nice brushes. I'm so happy I bought them yesterday. I just was feeling so low, and I thought, like, I'm gonna make myself a gift. That's what you do. There's never enough brushes. I've seen Calvin, I think his name is Calvin, from the one that created the brushes, the Drifter Studio, I think it's called. And I've never tested his brushes before, but I've seen his tutorials. And I was like, yeah, I have to test them out. This is like very cool. Okay, so what I wanted to do with his tail, I will show you now. I had a plan, so let's do a bit of erasing here. Okay, with the tail, what I want to do is I want to select this part of the tail, feather it out, and change the hue a bit to purple. Then I want to select less, feather it out, change the hue a bit more towards purple, select less, feather it out, make it pink, select even more, feather it out, make it warmer until we get to reds. Here we're gonna feather out and make it cooler, and here on the tips we're gonna make them darker or saturated, maybe warmer, and let's make them orange at the very tips. Like so. So he has a little colorful tail. Okay, I'm gonna erase just a bit of color here, otherwise it's too bright. Okay, and now we have the eyes. I'm gonna give them dark green eyes. Let's go dark green. And we're gonna select the rough quill. Take the small size of the brush. Make sure I fill them in correctly. I'm gonna pass over the second time to make them darker. Like so. Okay, and then for the eyebrows, I'm gonna select this dark brown that comes from orange. And here I want to try and blend it out. So to make them fluffy. What if we take this blender make them just a bit fluffy, like so. And then with a fine liner, I think, we're gonna go into the eyes. I'm gonna make it darker, almost black, with a small tip. Going to create those eyelashes. Because the eyes, they have to have defined look. I can't make them blurry. Like so. And here, let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Okay, and one thing I want to try is if I make a larger pupil. No, I don't want to make a pupil, but I do want to make an outline. Like so. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to create, I like these stamps that I have from aquarelle brushes. And I want to make a light yellow overlay stamp. Okay. And now I want to make the overlay stamp. So let's do it into normal first. Let's go back to normal. And I want to make this part cooler. Okay. Now if I go into overlay, it's gonna give us different colors in overlay mode. Okay, now what I wanted to do with my sketch, I'll put it in multiply, and I'm thinking maybe I should recolor it into a different color. Let's alpha lock it, and let's do it maybe brown. And I'm gonna take a brush that is from my charcoals. Here's my charcoal brush. Buzz, no, chalk. Okay. And one thing I wanted to do, let's duplicate it. This one will hide it. This one will put it full strength. And what if we do alpha lock? We take it away and we take an eraser and we do this type of eraser. It's gonna kind of indicate that it's a pencil more. It's not a rough line. If you can see closer here, it kind of removes particles of the pencil and makes them less visible, okay? And then I'm gonna take a smaller one. Okay, also like so. Let's see if this one looks better. Okay, for now let's finish with the colors. So I'm going to create the colors. So these I'm gonna put them back together, the pants, and I'm going to take my eraser, where's my brush back, dreamy watercolor, and I'm going to erase this to cover it with a different color, because here there are two colors and I want a different color here. So the threads will be maybe dark blue or red. We can do them red. So let's select the dreamy watercolor, rough quill. Maybe darker. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna select this color quill, and I'm gonna do this. A bit smaller. Okay. Like so. So every time that I place the color down, it's slightly different. Like so. So these stitches are nice. Okay. Now with these stitches, fine, let's do one thing first. Let's create these buckles that are gonna be this orange or maybe even yellow. Let's make them yellow or it can be golden. And here I'm already careful not to erase anything. Okay. As you can see, because it changes color. Okay, and here I'm gonna blend this a bit. Okay. And what I'm thinking, what can we do? What can we do with the straps? What do we do with the straps? Maybe they can be green, but I'm gonna take a yellow. We can make them, I wanted to do them purple and white, but maybe they can be green and white. So if we do green, but I'm taking the green from the yellows. So I'm taking the yellow, that is kind of lemony yellow, I'm taking it dark and it creates the green color. I like this color, it looks very natural. Okay. I don't think I like this patch color though, I'm gonna change it. Here we start with this color. Maybe it's green and yellow. Let's see. Maybe something analogous. Or green and white now, we'll see, because he's white, the chicken is white, or maybe green and black. Now we will see. Okay, and let's maybe do a yellow. Maybe we turned it into purple, I don't know why, and now I want to make it purple. Or maybe the patch, we make it purple. Like so. Not so sure. Now we'll mix the colors a bit. That's why I'm making it on different layers so that we can see which one do we like best. Okay, so now let's see. Pink! Oh, why? Why didn't I? No, I don't want. Why didn't I think of pink? Look how cool that looks. Purple, no, but warm pink, yes. Okay, now the thing that I don't like is also the color of those. Where are they? Here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to select this part. I should have done it all on a separate layer, but it's okay. Now we're gonna select first the patch and then add everything else. Like so. Okay, so one thing we do. First of all, I want to erase with this brush. I want to erase a bit the color on these seams. And what I want to do is I want to cut and paste. I should have kind of put it together still. So let's see the colors. What if we make it brighter or darker? Maybe dark blue. It's very dirty. Pink and blue. What if we choose this as blue? or as orange, and then no, maybe white. No. It's too much yellow here. I don't like it. Black, maybe dark blue instead of black. So what if we take, what if we erase all of it? Wait. Now we will erase all of it. What if we clear it? And what if we do a dark patch? Like so. With lighter circles. So here I'm gonna erase some, give it some texture, more of watercolor. Okay. And here I'm going to select these. I'm gonna feather it like 1% or 2. Gonna make them more saturated and brighter. What if we make them white? White I don't like. It needs a bit of color. Pink we have there. Okay, and what if we take it in general and we change the colors to see, maybe we wanted red. No. So it has to be, maybe let's leave it green. Let's leave it green for now and then we will figure something out. I'm gonna erase these parts and just add another color. Maybe dark blue in this case. I'm gonna add them on separate layers so that I don't have to worry about changing them by selecting them. Okay, can do that. Maybe it's too red. Pink. Okay, now on the pants, I want to select the button. And I want to just feather it 1%, and I want to change the hue. I want it to be dark brown, like so. And then I want these parts of the pants. I don't know why, I wanted this thing to be, sorry, I wanted this thing to be red. I'll put it in red. pink. I don't know what color to put there.